I'm Lance Benedict. I'm a musician, a writer, a documentary filmmaker, and I also host a weekly podcast with my wife called The Wiggles Giggles Show. Basically, I love being creative, but one of my biggest passions is cooking. This is Cooking with Lance. Hi, I'm Lance Benedict, and today I'm going to teach you how to cook the perfect steak. So let's get started. Okay, so what I've got here, other than my prized chihuahuas, are a few nice prime steaks. I've got a ribeye and a couple of fillets. The ribeye is about 1.5 inches thick. The fillets are about 1 inch. I love the ribeyes. They got the great fat content. That's what I normally eat, and my wife loves the fillets. So after seasoning the steaks on both sides with a little bit of garlic salt, I then apply my favorite steak seasoning, which is the McCormick's Montreal Steak. Now this has a really robust flavor and consists of garlics and pepper and salt and paprika, and it'll really give a nice crust to your steak and really make it stand out. Okay, so I'm preheating the oven to 350 degrees, and I'm going to show you why after we get these steaks on the fire here. And one other important thing you need to remember when you're doing these steaks is to let them get to room temperature. It's extremely important that you let the steaks settle a little bit coming out of the refrigerator. Sit them out about a half hour or so. I always do that. You'll see that they're going to sear better, and they're going to taste better, and they're going to cook better all the way around. Now, one of the key elements to making a great steak is to use a high quality pan. I use this heavy duty stainless steel pan from Brazil, but a nice quality cast iron pan works equally as well. Okay, so your next step is to pour 2 tablespoons of canola oil right into the pan and brush it around, just covering the pan lightly. Make sure you cover the entire bottom. While my steaks are coming to room temperature and just soaking up all that great McCormick's flavor, I'm going to show you how to make some killer mashed potatoes to go with this dish. So I'm using the Yukon Gold mashed potatoes. They're going to give you a real creamy mashed potato with a lot more flavor than using your standard russets. Now, while the potatoes are cooking, I'm going to infuse some olive oil with some garlic. Just take a large tablespoon of minced garlic and pour in some olive oil, just enough to cover it up. Let it sit for about 20 minutes and you'll have some great tasting oil. Now my potatoes are fully cooked, so I'm going to drain and strain them and get them ready for the mash. Then take your infused garlic olive oil that we made earlier and just pour in the olive oil. Just drizzle it over the top, trying not to get too much actual garlic in it. Now it's time to mash them up. Just take your mixer and mix them slowly till they're nice and creamy. Now that our creamy garlic mashed potatoes are all ready to go, it's time to get these steaks going. Make sure you preheat the pan so that the oil's nice and hot and the steaks sizzle right when you drop them in. That's how you're going to get the best crust and sear in all this flavor. So now here's the next big secret you need to know when you want to make a great steak. You need the 3 ingredients shown here: rosemary, thyme, and sage. Without these 3 ingredients, your steaks will fall flat and they will not taste like the great steakhouse steaks. This is what your steaks will look like when you take them out. Now here's another key important thing you need to remember. Do not eat them right away. I know you want to, but you got to let them rest. Let them sit. Here's what you can do while you're letting them rest. Cut the ends off of some asparagus and cook them in the same pan that you cooked the steak in. Make sure you leave all the good juices from the steaks and herbs and spices when you cook the asparagus. That way it'll taste great.